What's up, everybody, and thank you for tuning into this special edition of Tigress Corner Talk Radio right here on iHeartRadio. This is your girl, Miss Stephanie Tigress J, coming to you live. This edition is brought to you by Tigress Lane Enterprises in association with Spreaker and iHeartRadio. I'm flying solo today, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Okay, everybody, today is Friday, April the 22nd, 2016. And as I said in the intro, I am flying solo, but there's a good reason for it. We don't usually record on Fridays, but because of the sudden passing yesterday of one of the world's biggest music icons, the crowned Purple Prince himself, Prince Roger Nelson, I felt it only right to do a special tribute episode of Tigress Corner Talk Radio, paying respects and homage to this musical genius and legend. So throughout this broadcast, I will be playing a few of the classic songs that touched millions and millions across the world and made Prince a household name. And the song that you just heard during this intro was 1999 by Prince from his album entitled 1999. Of course, we all know by now that the singer, producer, and songwriter Prince was found unresponsive in the elevator of his studio at his home on Thursday, April 21st, 2016. After several unsuccessful attempts by paramedics to perform CPR on Prince, he was officially pronounced dead at approximately 10:07 a.m. yesterday morning. Although his sudden passing is still at this time a mystery, it has been reported by CNN and many other reputable news outlets that Prince had recently been sick with the flu, and though he recently had moments of feeling better to the point where he did an 80-minute concert and recently attended a party, he still couldn't seem to make a full recovery. An autopsy is currently underway. The world is mourning the loss of this man who, like so many other iconic music artists, made a significant and lasting contribution to not only music itself, but also to so many causes and issues over the last few decades that mattered to so many of us. Prince Roger Nelson was not a man of many words and was a very private man. However, when he did speak, we listened. When he wanted to make his voice be heard, Prince would do what he did best. He would display and express his thoughts, feelings, and emotions through writing, acting, and in song. And believe me, we all heard it and felt it. Prince did not stand tall in stature, at only 5 feet 2 inches tall. However, he was a giant in the art of music and in our hearts. He walked tall and proud, always living unapologetically in his own truth. Prince was a man of mystery and intrigue. When he looked into the camera as he performed one of his many great songs, whether live on stage or on the TV screen, his dark yet inviting eyes would draw you in and make you feel as though he were singing directly to you. I remember a long time ago, I heard a very popular male comedian say in one of his jokes that when he once attended one of Prince's concerts. He met Prince backstage, and when Prince spoke to him, this comedian said that for the first time, he felt like he was turning into a little BI, and I'll let you finish the rest of that, folks. Even though this comedian was joking, I knew that he was basically saying that Prince had a way of making a person feel immediately vulnerable yet comfortable around him. That was just Prince's personality. He once said during an interview, and I will paraphrase this, that if you don't mistreat or criticize your audience, then you give them the chance to grow with you. Prince was truly a perfectionist and master of his craft. His musical influence broke barriers and spanned throughout various genres of music such as R&B, gospel, rock, classical, and hip-hop. Just like other iconic music artists such as Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, and even gospel music legend Andre Crouch, and so many others, there will never be another like the Purple Prince himself, Prince Roger Nelson. We salute you, Prince. And now, folks, we're going to go ahead and stop here for a brief moment of silence and another song from this musical legend that we lost too soon. And now we will go ahead and play another one of Prince's musical hits. All right, and we are back, and the song that you just heard was Prince's Little Red Corvette. Of course, that was one of my favorite songs of Prince growing up. And, for those of you who are in the 30, 40, even 50 something range, we grew up listening to Prince, and that is why I think it is such a big loss for all of us, because he was a household name. Whether you are, Christian or not, it doesn't matter. This man was gifted, he was talented, and he was a genius and a master at what he did. So you have to give respects, and just really honor his gifting and his memory with that. I know that I, like so many people, were just shocked at the news yesterday, and I even thought for a second it was maybe a joke or a hoax, but of course I soon found out thereafter that it was not a joke. And all of us who loved Prince and grew up listening to his music and even watching some of his I think one or two of his movies, it was with a heavy heart that we received and accepted that news. Okay, so actually we're going to go ahead and do a couple of pieces of news in this broadcast as we continue to pay tribute to music legend Prince. Okay, the company Uber has settled a major class action lawsuit brought on by its drivers in California and Massachusetts who were seeking to be recognized as employees instead of independent contractors. It is reported by CNN that this company, which is currently valued at around $70 billion, will pay a sum of $100 million to approximately 385,000 drivers, but only on the condition that the driver's employment status with the company will not change. So in other words, they will not be recognized as official company employees. They will remain in the independent contractor status. This pending settlement will also allow for the creation of some sort of drivers association union, which will represent workers when in talks or dealings with company management. To read more about this settlement, go to CNN.com or your CNN app on your wireless device. Now, let me just give my quick opinion on this. I feel like Uber should have known that this was going to eventually happen, especially since the company is worth billions and billions of dollars. Drivers were inevitably going to want some sort of benefits incentive or more. I mean, they can't be surprised by this, and I know I wasn't surprised when I read this article. I mean, here you've got a company that's worth billions of dollars. You have everyday normal people who are using their vehicles and putting their lives on the line, let's just face it, to perform a service for this company in a way to make either extra income or this is their only income. And because there have been many stories where Uber drivers have gotten severely hurt or killed, by passengers. And then, of course, the tables have been turned where the one story about the Uber driver who went on a shooting spree. And it's just, I just feel like the company should have expected this. This should not have been something that was a surprise to them, that this was going to happen, where Uber drivers were going to want some kind of benefits package or some kind of incentive or more pay for performing their service. So I'm not going to say that I'm glad that the drivers got their settlement, but at the same time, it's not surprising. So there you have it. So we're going to go ahead and continue to pay tribute to the music legend that we lost yesterday, Prince, by playing another one of his iconic songs. Stand by. And you just heard the song Diamonds and Pearls. Okay, on to the next news topic. According to the Washington Post, a white couple who are evangelists gave birth to black triplets. Now, how can this be, you ask? The white couple adopted the embryos through a Christian embryo bank. Now, this is something new for me. I've never heard of a Christian embryo bank, but hey, I'm not knocking it because what a wonderful way to, I guess for Christians who want to have a family but are not able to conceive the natural way. What a wonderful way for them to, or a wonderful route for them to go, I should say. Well, in September of 2015, the white evangelical couple who are from and live in the South wanted a multiracial family. They had the embryos implanted and began the long wait to see if the transfer would be successful, which of course it ultimately was successful. Now, please forgive my lack of knowledge on this subject, but I wonder if a black couple could somehow possibly give birth to white babies through this process, or would they even be allowed? I mean, we hear so many times of, and occasions of white couples and white families adopting black babies or black kids. And now in this particular story, we hear about a white woman basically giving birth to black triplet girls, but the father is white. So like I said, when I first read this story, I was like, how could this be? How in the world did this happen? But that's exactly how it happened. The couple intentionally sought out the embryos of African American babies because they wanted the opportunity to have a multiracial family. They actually love the idea of having a multiracial family. Now, that's the crazy thing about this is you don't hear about this too often. A white family wanting to raise black children, as far as giving birth to them. Let me quickly rephrase that because I don't want you guys saying, well, that's not true. But you don't hear of it quite often where when they are seeking out embryos and things like that, they intentionally pick out the embryos of African American babies. But this couple did, and they live in the South. That's the other thing that was very intriguing about this story, is that, there are certain parts of the South that are still very, very, very conservative, and they don't believe in this sort of thing. And the couple did say that they did receive a lot of mixed reactions from people they knew and, some of their family members. But they didn't care. They felt like this was something that God put on their heart. They felt like this was meant to be. They felt like it was destiny for them to give birth to black babies. So there you have it with that. I did find it interesting, like I said. And so if you want to read more on this story, just go to WashingtonPost.com, or like with CNN, if you have the Washington Post app on your wireless device, go ahead and go to it and you can read more about this interesting and intriguing story. Now, once again, we're going to stop here and play another song of Prince. And if you think that I'm playing too much of Prince, let me just respectfully say that you can either turn your volume down or not continue to listen to this broadcast, which I hope that you do, because like I said, this is a special edition of Tigress Corner Talk Radio, and I wanted to pay special tribute to this music legend. So stand by, folks. Gosh, I really love that song. And that song, like so many other of Prince's songs, really told a story. And if you are a music lover and you are the type of person that listens to the words to songs, that song really resonated, and the story of that song really resonated with myself, and I'm sure so many, many other people around the world. And that song was also the title song to his movie Purple Rain, which was like a biopic. It really told about his life and his journey and his struggles. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that song also won him 2 Grammys, won Prince 2 Grammys, and was, I believe, nominated or received an Oscar as well. So yes, I truly love that song. Of course, there were so many songs of Prince that I really loved, but that was one of my favorites. Okay, now on to weird news. We're just going to do one piece of weird news, as we only have time for one piece of weird news. So let's go ahead and get to it. Attention those of you who may think about cheating on your spouse or partner. There is a high-tech concept mattress with memory foam that will be able to detect if your spouse or partner is cheating on you in your bed when you're not home, according to the Huffington Post. It's called the Smartress, developed by a company in Spain called Dermot, who says that this mattress has a lover detection system. 24 ultrasonic sensors measure suspicious movement in the bed, transmitting data of tryst, including a 3D mattress model, to show where and when most of the exertion is taking place. Now, folks, I thought I had heard it all, and I actually first heard about this a couple of days ago, I believe, on another very popular morning radio show, Tom Joyner Morning Show. Shout out to you guys over there. I first heard about it from there, and I was like, what? So I had to turn my volume up because I thought maybe it was a joke at first. I'm like, yeah, okay, right. But apparently the infidelity rate in Spain is at an all-time high. And so developers at this company decided to come up with this concept of a mattress that can detect when you or your spouse or partner is cheating. And all I can say is I guess. But apparently, like I said and explained in the article, that this mattress will be able to really measure and detect suspicious and unrecognizable movement, as well as the volume of it. So if you are at work and during the day or whenever you work, and I guess if this mattress is picking up some kind of weird movement in excess, I guess, it will report that data to you. So I think it's an interesting concept, but at the same time, cheaters don't always cheat in their own beds. Okay, people, let's just be honest. Cheaters don't always cheat in their own beds. They will find other places to cheat where they won't be detected, where there won't be memory foam or some kind of sophisticated system built in that will detect their movement and the other person's movement and all that other stuff. So smart concept, folks, but you might want to rethink that, because like I've always said, and like the old adage goes, where there's a will, there's a way. So I don't think that it's going to stop cheaters from cheating. All it's going to do is just stop them from cheating in their own beds. How about that? Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here on this special edition of Tigress Corner Talk Radio. I want to do just a couple of announcements. Our very own Silky Milk Mike J will be performing at the Palace in Cincinnati tomorrow, April 23rd, 2016, at the event called Laugh the Hate Out and Wrap It Up comedy series. And this particular event will feature various comics from across the country, including Silky Milk Mike J, and it will also feature gospel rap artists. And so they wanted to do this event as a good cause to the community, to like I said, laugh the hate out and wrap it up. I think it's a very appropriate title for this event, and I think the cause is a wonderful cause. And it's being put on by a young man who is a Christian comic himself by the name of Sean Lindsay. So if you are going to be in the Ohio area and would like to attend this event, the admission price is only $10, and it's at a place called The Palace, located at 5916 Vine Street, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45216. And Silky Milk Mike J will also be selling his intro comedy DVD at this particular event. Also, volume 2 of my book, If the Church Walls Could Talk, Forbidden Matters of the Heart, is available on createspace.com and amazon.com, where you can also purchase still the volume 1 of my book, If the Church Walls Could Talk, Forbidden Matters of the Heart, by Stephanie L.P. Jackson. So go ahead and go to those websites. It will also be available in online retail bookstores as well, and libraries come the end of May or beginning of June. Okay, and don't forget about my boutique, Dama Sexy by Stephanie Jackson. You can go to that at cafepress.com/Damasexy by SJ. And I sell all kinds of apparel and casual items and novelty items for men and women. And Dama Sexy means sexy lady in Spanish. Okay, and also don't forget TLE Posh Magazine. Stay in the know with updated articles and fashion tips and things like that at my blog magazine, TLE Posh Magazine. .webs.com. And for more information on Tigress Lane Enterprises, go to tigresslane.enterprises.webs.com. Until next time, folks, go forward in love, peace, and laughter. And we are going to leave you with one more song of Prince. And I just want to say, rest in heaven, Prince. You will truly, truly be missed. But your music will live on. Okay, that is the great thing about live podcast radio, folks. That is not the song. So we're going to go ahead and get the right song. Please forgive me. Until next time, go forward in love, peace, and laughter, as I said before, and have a wonderful, safe, and blessed weekend.